Thank you, team. Good morning, everyone. We are extremely excited to be here in Boston for the first time, for the first Unlock here in the US. It's a great moment. We are so happy to gather the entire community here. Like Tim said, we will share a lot with you. We have a lot to share. We have a lot to unveil. But we also want to hear and learn from you. So please do not hesitate. Engage with us. Look for the purple shoes. Go and come and talk to us. We need to hear from you. We need to get your feedbacks. That's how a community works, and we really need you. So here we are, Seaport, and it's exciting for me because, 10 years ago, at the exact opposite end of the ocean, 3,000 miles away from here, we started this company in a French small city called Nantes. And crossing that ocean has not been exactly an easy cruise. We had a lot of changes. We had constantly to unlearn, to challenge our beliefs, to adapt to those different challenges. It has been a lot of turbulences, but here we are. And what is true for us is actually also true for you. The industry, the retail and the manufacturing industry went through a lot of transformation over the past 20 years. It has not been a quiet ride. There's been a lot of waves. And when you think about it, some of those waves were so big that they could have easily turned into walls if we were not constantly adapting the way we sail. One wave I'm thinking about is the customer experience wave. I think we all know that. It sounds obvious today. But not so long ago, building customer-centric organizations was not the obvious thing to do. It has been a huge transformation. We had to constantly adapt and redefine the way we were building tools, processes, and teams to be completely customer-centric. Again, obvious today, but it took a while, and only those companies who have been able to adapt and to build those customer-centric organizations have been able to succeed. But the thing is that when you are really focused on navigating a wave, you don't see what is happening behind that wave. You don't see that sometimes a wave is not just a single wave. There is something behind it, and you are not prepared. And actually, customer experience was the first wave, but there was another one. Another very important wave, the employee experience. Zappos, here in the US, paved the way. They showed that it was as important to build people-centric organizations than customer-centric organizations. If you don't have happy and successful employees, you won't have happy and successful customers. Again, that was a very big wave that required to adapt and to build new organizations again, new systems, new processes. And you know what? History likes to repeat itself. So that's not the last wave. There is another one. The third wave is product experience. And it might sound, again, obvious to you, say, yeah, we heard that before. We know that product experience is becoming more and more important. But it's not enough. I think we all learned the hard way during COVID that we needed to build product experiences that were agnostic from where the experience happens. And that's a new change. That's a new way to build and adapt our organizations. When you think about the very definition of commerce, what commerce is about? Commerce is making sure that the right customer will find and buy the right product from the right people. Here you are. You have your three pillars: customers, people, and product. And so we need to adapt. We need to make sure that we are ready for this third wave and build what needs to be built to face this product experience wave. And again, even if you think that you've already started to do that, yes, you might have started. But it's not enough. It's not enough on our end as well. What I'm trying to tell you today is that if we all want to face that wave, well, to quote a famous movie, we're going to need a bigger boat. And that's what we want to discuss with you. What is that boat, and how do we want to build it?
That's right. And let's talk about those complexities, that wave, the surge that's coming, and how we're going to be prepared for it. So let's break it down. How do you take amazing product experiences to market at scale? Let's start with the product record itself. This is something that we're actually doing really well today, elements of it. So if you take a look at this amazing Akeneo drill here on the screen, you'll see that there are images. Usually you provide several. You'll see that there is a technical description, you've got the product name, you have a really rich product description in there, you have certifications. All of these things are really well served today with Akeneo's modern PIM. There are other bits of information that make up a really great and rich, complete product experience. You see pricing information. Now, if you're in a business with dynamic pricing, this can change by the moment and depending on the channel or the availability of the product. And then, of course, there's the availability of the product. Where does that information come from? Your consumers want to know, potentially, how many are left in a store that's located near me. You have to provide that as part of a complete product record. And then you have user information, so the star ratings, user-generated content, things that help me as a consumer to really feel confident that I'm making the right decision about that product. This is the more complete product record that helps you to tell a more compelling product story. And putting all of this together is hard. How hard? Let me just talk to you about an experience that I had recently. This summer, I was going to look for some clothing for my husband for his birthday. And it was a little late, so I needed to do it quickly. And I, of course, then went to Amazon. That is where you go for quick decisions. Did some searching, and this is the record. This is the listing live on Amazon that I saw. If you squint, you can see details to come. Details to come soon. Details to come as the information is not yet available. Oh my God, seriously, this was on Amazon for 10 months. We've been checking in on it. This is a bad product experience, and it led to a really bad customer experience. I did not buy those pants. Well, okay, so why is this happening? Why today does a listing like that still happen? That's a question that your CEO might be asking if they saw and stumbled across a listing like that, and you don't want your CEO asking that question for sure. Maybe they're thinking, well, gosh, how could that happen? Isn't it as simple as find the products, describe the products, pull them from the store, get them out to the warehouse, into the store, into your customer's hands? That's how simple it is, right? That's pretty straightforward. That's what you're dealing with? No, that's not your world. This is your world. This is an actual example of a customer trying to manage the chaos of pulling all of those pieces of the product record together to get it out to market. All of those purple dots are people. People with technology and processes and systems and ways to try and manual ways to try and manage that chaos of stitching together at least an okay product experience, let alone an amazing product experience. This is chaos. And it's not just the technology that people are dealing with. It's also the data and where the data lives. So we have a few different data sources up here. You've got marketing data that lives in a few different places. You have technical data in a few more. User-generated content, availability, still in other systems. And let's think about pricing. Just think for a moment, where does pricing data live in your organization? I'm guessing you're rattling off at least a few. So all told, this is at least 10 different official data sources that you're trying to pull together in order to make that product record. Oh, but wait, there's more. Let's not forget about the people. The people in your organization are also in their own little silos, asking for their own specific information. So you have Shannon, who's in the marketing department. She wants to get ads out into the world, and so she's going to need a sliver of information about the record. And then you have Stefan over in charge of the e-com platform, and he's going to demand that his own pieces of information are coming to him in a timely fashion to get into the e-com store. You have Mark, who's in charge of marketplaces, and you have Kateri, and she's sitting over there in charge of the retail network. Each of these people is asking for a different set of information that is consistent about the product record. This is, again, more chaos. And we've spoken to a lot of people about this. I'm not going to pound on more chaos, but I want to let you know that you're not alone. I want to welcome to the stage somebody I'm super excited to talk to. We have Dimple Rao from Chico's. Join us up on stage. Okay, so Dimple, talk to us. Tell us straight. Does this chaos that I've walked through sound at all familiar to you and your organization?
Absolutely. I think for me, the chaos, we're using the word a lot, but it's manifesting itself in a couple of different ways, right? Our customer experience. So there is today's customer, we know she looks for information. The information that's readily available when she's shopping in the store, she's trying to find it online as well. So inseam, fabric type, manufacturing, where is this manufactured? Is this sustainable? So we think that this is showing up for our customer in suboptimal ways because we're not able to give her everything that she wants at her fingertips. And then it's showing up in our teams. There's just high amounts of manual work that goes in. It's sort of like a duck, right? Like everything is very, very okay on the surface. Underneath, people are just paddling away, trying to stay afloat. So it's causing a lot of friction internally as we bring on new employees. Getting them onboarded causes a lot of chaos. And so I think it's absolutely true for us.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But how about your C-suite? Do they have an understanding? Do they see the duck at the top, or are they seeing the paddling at the bottom?
Our CEO, Molly Langenstein, is a merchant at heart. So we are a very product-obsessed company. Molly will tell you just how many pieces go into making a blazer, how many stitches are on a particular pair of pants. So she is truly product obsessed. And so we spend so much time making products that our customers love, but we don't get to demonstrate to them everything that's gone into it. So we want more customers to try our products. So as new customers come on, if they're not familiar with us, we want to give them all the information they need. So I think Molly sees it. We get regular emails from our board. I'm looking for this blouse in all the colors. Why am I not seeing it all together? So, it spans the gamut because they all are obsessively shopping on our site. So they see it more than any of us, actually.
I'm also obsessively shopping on White House Black Market. We can talk about that. And so what are the impacts on Chico's? Like, what's going to happen if you can't solve the chaos?
Yeah, I think that we are, like most retailers, we're spending a lot of money trying to get customers to our site, right? So we definitely think we're leaving money on the table from a conversion perspective, particularly for new customers who are new to our brand. So I think it shows up on the conversion lens. I think it shows up on the returns lens, right? Like if, or I end up buying 2 sizes because I'm not really sure what's going to fit me. And then I end up returning one because I said something was crimson and it was actually bright red and it didn't show up properly. So I think there's a lot of, I think top line, bottom line, a huge impact to our business. And then, you know, my head of e-commerce will often be like, my team's going to quit if we don't put a PIM in. Because again, they're just, the amount of effort that's going into launching every single product is just humongous. And like, we're all doing more with less. And so the more we can sort of standardize things and make it easier for our employees, I think the happier our customers will be, because they'll be doing more strategic work. They'll be, you know, doing more customer-centric work versus just trying to keep things afloat.
Getting your employees happy, ultimately making your customers happy, win for the business.
I don't know, CX, EX, something like that, right?
Okay, good. Well, okay, so we've established that it's hard for you, but how do you feel about the future?
Well, I was lucky enough to get a sneak peek of your vision and your roadmap, and I'm very excited for all of you to see what you guys have in store. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. So we're on to something. The world is hard out there, and the problem is real, the problem is complex. Chaos has been a word that we've used, validated. So what is the solution? Product experience, or product activation. Product activation is the solution to product experience management. And Fred mentioned that product experience wave is all about delivering a consistent and quality product story wherever somebody is browsing for the product, right? It's a consistent, high-quality product experience wherever anybody is browsing. Product activation is the path to get you there. And what is needed to address this chaos is a simple, pretty straightforward, but cohesive strategy that brings the entire product story together in a consistent, compelling way. Great. Product activation is going to tear down those silos of technology and people and processes, ultimate goal. Those are the things that have been preventing you from delivering at scale those product experiences. So let's talk about product activation. Let's talk about the solution that's going to back it up. And just to validate one more time, you don't have to take our word for it. You should definitely take Dimple's word for it. But I think one other data point is we have Heather Hershey, who is an industry analyst at IDC, in her own words, also validates it. She says that modern PIM providers today are going to no longer be investing in only cold data sources. They're also going to be investing in warm and hot product data sources to ensure that there's a complete 360-degree view of the product record to better serve that customer experience.
Thank you, Kristin. And so how do we want to make it happen at Akeneo? So again, let's take a few minutes to discuss about this product activation thing. What is product activation? If we are going back to the example of this denim brand that you were trying to shop, what is the typical process to activate their products on Amazon? First step of this process is to manage the different product record components. Some of those product record components will be marketing information, assets, but also product availability, stock, pricing, user-generated content. So all those components sit and live into different systems, which is normal because those are not the same teams. Those are not the same people working on those different systems. But first, make sure that you are managing correctly those different components, that your description is accurate, real description, that you have a real picture. That's the first step. Pretty obvious, right? Then you need to orchestrate all those components. You need to centralize, harmonize all those product components in one place because you want to have a 360 degrees view on your product record. And again, this cannot happen in the PIM, or this cannot happen in another product record management system. This has to happen after to make sure that you have a complete and comprehensive view on your product data record before being able to activate it. That's the third step. Once you have orchestrated everything, centralized everything, you are ready to push your product data on Amazon, on Walmart, or on your own e-commerce website. Again, not all those channels are the same, and you will need to adapt and make sure that you will meet the requirements of each channel. That's the science of activation. But it's not over. The job is not done once you've done that. You need also to analyze. You need to understand what is happening on those channels if you want to be able to adapt and improve. Let's go back to this example of the pair of denim. What would happen? What is happening? You were saying that those pants has been live for 10 months. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the sales from those denims were not what they should be. And probably that if they were comparing how much the sales were performing on Amazon versus their own e-commerce website, where maybe the description was different, they would probably have seen that something is not working. So you need to analyze. But you don't just need to analyze, you need to analyze and act on it. And that's the idea of making sure that if you see on one end that the sales performance or the returns rate of your product is not what it should be, and on the other side, you can see that maybe the product data quality is pretty low, hey, maybe that's something you should change. Maybe that's something you should work on. And then you can go back into the management part and restart all the process. That's what product activation is about. Why am I telling you all of this? I think if we all understand this process, we will all agree that PIM alone, even with the best PIM in the market, which is Akeneo, it won't be enough to proceed with the entire activation process. And so that's why we are extremely excited to present you our vision and what we want to build. This bigger boat I was talking about, it's called Akeneo Product Cloud. And what is exactly Akeneo Product Cloud? Akeneo Product Cloud is a set of tools, a suite that will help you to manage the entire process of activation to build those great product experiences. You have different layers in this product cloud. The first layer is what we are calling Product Data Studios. Again, remember, first step of the activation process is to manage product record components. So one important piece of those Product Data Studios is, of course, the PIM, because this is where you will manage marketing data, assets, and a lot of information. So Akeneo will continue to invest a lot in our PIM offering. But there will be other systems coming alongside PIM. You need to manage user-generated content, customer reviews. You need to manage inventory, product availability. You need to manage also the pricing. You need to manage what we are calling product lifecycle technical information. And you might ask, why do I need that to activate my product? Again, let's talk about those pens. As a consumer, more and more, I'm interested to know what is the carbon footprint of what I'm buying. And to know the carbon footprint, you need to know the exact composition of the product. And those, typically, that type of information sits into a PLM or in a dedicated software. So that's the foundation. At Akeneo, we believe in the best-of-breed approach. We do not believe that there will be one tool that can manage all of this. So there will be a set of tools. Akeneo will try and will build in the future some of those tools, but we believe that although you might have already some existing software that you need to be able to leverage to do that. Once you've done that, once you've been able to manage all your product data components, the second step, like I said, is to orchestrate them. And this where comes into play a new tool, a new system we are calling product data platform. The product data platform is where you will be able to harmonize, standardize all your product components to be able to activate them across all your channels. This piece is extremely important. This is going to become the heart of Akeneo Product Cloud. Once you've done that, again, you are ready to activate. And how do you activate? You activate through apps. We all know that each channel is different, has its own set of rules. Once you have the product data studio that can orchestrate and build the golden record for your product, you can build on top apps through our App Store that will help you to distribute and activate your products across different channels, marketplaces, direct-to-consumer channels, first-party distribution channels, so your retail network, but also marketing channels. So those apps will allow you to distribute and activate. And last but not least, like I said, you want to be able to analyze. You want to be able to close the feedback loop to understand what is working, because again, the product data platform we are talking about here, this is not just plumbing we are discussing about. This is how it's a control panel. This is where you are managing your activation strategy to define what are the channels that are working, how looks like your product experience. So this is a very important piece that will help you again to improve and point out what needs to be changed in the underlying layers, which are the product data studios. That's product Akeneo Cloud. And I know what you're going to ask is, okay, that looks ambitious, so when? When is it happening? It's ambitious, but we have the fuel, we have the team, and we believe and we will deliver on that vision in the next 3 years. So it's a journey, it's a path. But we have this amazing opportunity together to redefine an entire category, again, to fight that big, enormous wave that is coming on us. And actually, when I was telling you that we need a bigger boat, actually, we need a fleet. We need a fleet, and we need you to be part of it. Because this industry is changing. It's inevitable. The change that is happening is inevitable. And we want and we hope that you will be with us to pioneer this new industry, this new category, this new way of thinking about product activation and product experience. So if you are excited as much as we are about this change and what has to come, please come to us, challenge us. Let's work together because it's a journey, and we are really, really happy to be on this journey with you. Thank you.